All right, I think I'm finally stuck with this next lesson. So I want you to explore this lesson with me. Let's figure this out together. This is a big one. It seems to me like this is like the starting point for the end, the beginning of the culmination of all lessons. And it is because of the definition that A Course in Miracles gives to sin. I don't know about you, but I grew up seeing that we're all going to fall short of God's glory and that we are inherently sinful. Original sin, something we didn't even do, we just came in with it. So, and that it is based off of certain rules, certain decisions that were made by some people in the past that tells us that this is right and this is wrong. Now, that there may be some that most of us can agree on and that are based off of the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if someone hurts you and you wouldn't want to be hurt, then don't hurt anyone. And if you do, that's a sin. Or that hurting your own body is a sin. That, of course, committing murder is a sin. That stealing something from someone is a sin. So we've learned, especially within the Judeo-Christian Muslim tradition, that the Ten Commandments give us a foundation for what is a sin and what is not a sin. However, then you have certain belief systems that you grew up with that said that if you don't go to church, then you're committing a sin. Or if you if you eat meat on a certain day, you're committing a sin. That if you're thinking a certain way and it doesn't agree with your tradition, then you are committing a sin. You're a heretic, whatever. So you can constantly create a system in which everything you do is seen as sinful, and that's because of the definition that you've given it. Then it comes to this lesson, and this lesson basically says, yes, that's all true within the context of the dream. The world in which you've made has nothing to do with your soul and the world that God made. It has everything to do with the decision to incarnate into this world to learn certain lessons. Part of the lessons are learned by forgetting where you came from, who you truly are, forgetting your relationship with the Creator, and so therefore seeing everything through your eyes as sinful. And part of the illusion is that you can be forgiven by the Creator if you admit that you are sinful. Okay? So here we are, this lesson saying that as long as you hold on to that belief, then it is impossible for you to experience perfect happiness. It is impossible for you to experience perfect peace. This is lesson 101, and it's titled, God's will for me is perfect happiness. God's will for me is perfect happiness. But it really focuses on the idea that there is no sin. And your belief that there is what causes you to withdraw from the belief in perfect happiness. And that there is instead a correction that needs to be made in the mind. So there is no sin that makes you inherently dirty, but there is a correction of an error that needs to be made in the mind. And by correcting that error, you let go of all of these ideas that lead to behavior that is sinful or that is perceived as sinful in this world. That is, if you have true love for yourself, you would not want to hurt yourself. If you have true love for yourself, you would not want to hurt anyone else. If you truly believe that you are not separate from your Creator, then you would want to extend that love. And that's all you would want to do. And you would not buy into the illusions of the world that constantly attack you and judge you with grievances. And you would instead choose to correct the error And correcting the error is what is forgiveness. Forgiveness is correcting the error in perception. And that will then correct the errors in behavior. You take full responsibility for what you're experiencing and how you're being. 100%. You are not a victim of anything. You take full responsibility for what you've created. But you choose, again, to move towards the light versus any darkness. So there is no sin. Can you truly, truly accept that? I have to admit, it's tough for me based off of everything that I have grown up with. It's tough for me when I see all the horrors in this world, but then I hear the voice of Jesus saying, my kingdom is not of this world, and I have overcome the world. So if I have overcome the world, I'm inviting you to do the same. There is no sin, and God's will for me is perfect happiness. Remind yourself of that as often as you can. I'll see you tomorrow for lesson 102. Thanks.